But we'll start this hour with the news which will provide some real relief for Manchester United fans. In the last hour, they finally agreed a deal with Brentford for the signing of Bryan Mbeumo. They've gone backwards, they've gone forwards, they've gone backwards, they've gone forwards. Finally, the deal is agreed. I'm joined by Dharmesh Sheth. Dharmesh, what else can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, it looks like the saga is close to coming to an end. This started about 6 weeks ago, didn't it? Manchester United making that bid of £45 million plus £10 million in performance-related add-ons. Then another bid went in worth £62.5 million. I think Brentford were really, really steadfast and stubborn in their approach to this. They had a figure in mind and they said, we are not going to go anywhere below that. And finally, the two clubs have met, and it is a deal worth £71 million. Manchester United will pay an initial fee of £65 million plus £6 million in performance-related add-ons. The initial fee, the £65 million, will be paid in 4 instalments. And that's where the information I was getting was where the crux of this deal was going to be. Manchester United weren't too far away on the overall fee. It was always going to come down to the structure that would suit both Brentford and Manchester United. Because if it had been in like 3 instalments, that probably wouldn't have worked for United on the one hand. But with it being 4 instalments now, they get to spread that cost over 4 periods as opposed to just 3 instalments. So the deal is now agreed. We expect Bryan Mbeumo to have a medical in the coming days, and there is a growing optimism that he will be part of Manchester United's squad for their pre-season tour of the United States, and they take off for that tour on Tuesday.
OK, so a bit of a rush from a Manchester United point of view. Brentford ended the season in such great shape, but they've now lost their manager, gone to Tottenham. They've lost their captain, gone to Arsenal. Now they've lost their top scorer off to Manchester United. Where does it leave them?
I mean, they have got good money for Bryan Mbeumo. They have got good money for Christian Norgard as well, who you mentioned has gone to Arsenal. It was, of course, a big blow losing Thomas Frank, the head coach, who went to Tottenham Hotspur. But focus will now, I guess, be on Johan Wissa. And the noises we've been hearing throughout this transfer window is that Brentford do not want to sell both Bryan Mbeumo and Johan Wissa in the same transfer window. Now, we do know that alongside the interest in Bryan Mbeumo from Manchester United, there has been big interest in Johan Wissa, not least from Newcastle United, because they've turned their attention to Wissa following the news that Liverpool are pursuing a deal for Hugo Ekitike. Nottingham Forest have bid for Johan Wissa before. They remain interested, and I'm sure Thomas Frank himself, when he faces the media in around an hour or so from now, will be asked the question whether Tottenham Hotspur are still interested in Johan Wissa, because of course he managed him so well last season. But the noises we're getting right now is that Brentford aren't under any pressure to sell. He's got a year left on his contract, but crucially, there's an option to extend that contract by a further year. They do not want to sell both Mbeumo and Wissa in the same transfer window. I know you can never say never, because if an incredible bid was to come in, Brentford probably would have to think about it. But the amount of goals that they would lose from last season if both of those players were to leave, I don't think Brentford want to go down that way.